Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with TressAllure. This is TressAllure's new style casual curls in the color 829. Such a beautiful brunette, and look at these curls. Wow, this is a heat-friendly piece and she's darling. If you want to know more about this, then stick around. I'm going to show you all about her. I'm going to show you this color inside and out. We'll look inside the cap. You'll learn everything you need to know. I was absolutely blown away when TressAllure reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in taking a look at this style and sharing it with everyone. I was so excited. It's always so fun to be recognized by a brand. It's just, I don't know, something I'll never get used to. It's just really fun. And this is a darling style. It's always a little nerve-wracking when I say yes to review a piece that is new and doesn't have any collateral out there on, because I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know what the style looks like. But TressAllure makes some really great stuff, and so I was sure that it would be at least review worthy, and boy is this one ever. Take a look at it from all sides. You know, I know there are quite a few styles out there similar to this, but you never know what's going to just pop for you. And so I'm okay with manufacturers making similar styles because there's usually some sort of variation. In this case, these are heat-friendly fibers. So for some people, that's going to be maybe a no-go because you don't maybe do heat-friendly fibers because you're not familiar with them or used to the special needs of them. But other people will love that these are heat-friendly. Let me tell you why. Number one, heat-friendly fibers feel so realistic, and these are no exception. They feel amazing, and they're soft, and they just feel so nice. Number two, they generally don't have as much shine as regular synthetic. So if you're sensitive to shine, heat-friendly fibers could be something to try, because really, I think for the most part, they're not shiny. Now, everybody's a little bit differently sensitive to shine. I personally am not super sensitive to shine, so I rarely find a wig too shiny, but you might be someone who looks at every wig and thinks it's shiny. So keep in mind, whenever we talk about things like this, low shine and things like that, you will have to learn what your personal sensitivities are and how they may differ from someone else's. So when I talk about shine, it's my subjective opinion. There isn't a real objective way to measure shine. But this one, I don't think looks shiny. Maybe hard to tell with all this lighting on me, but gosh, it's pretty. This wig has a lace front and a left monopart, left going to the right. Whenever I talk about monopart wigs, I think of my friend Jill, who is a right parter, and so she can only go for monotops most of the time because they don't really make right monoparts. There's a couple out there, but very rarely. This one does have that left hand monopart, so it's on the left going over to the right. So think about how you part your hair and if that will work for you. But look at this lace front. They did so good. It's a great lace front. I think they did a fabulous job. So this is, I think, ultra realistic because that lace front is so good. TressAllure has come up with some really surprisingly great pieces. I think they're really stepping up their game and doing some new things, which is really, really fun. Now you can see that this one has big barrel curls. Now I do have an out of the box that I did for Instagram, and I will take that and tack it onto the end of this video with a little bit of a voiceover. If you've watched any of my recent reviews, you'll see that I'm doing that more often with brand new wigs. I try, whenever I get a brand new wig out of the box, to get that out of the box done right away, because I want to look at the wig, but I don't want to look at it until I do the out of the box. I think it's super important that we're very transparent about what we do with these wigs, so that you're not ever misled, and so you'll be able to see it out of the box. But you guys, this is out of the box. All I did, I took the tag off of it, I shook it out, and I ran a wide tooth comb through it. That is all I did. I didn't even hang it upside down. I didn't spray it with anything. It looks so good out of the box. But yours could be different, and here's why wigs can look terrible out of the box. Number one, they could be sitting in there for a really long time. This is a new style, so it likely hasn't been sitting in a box for a terribly long time. Number two, you don't know what kind of conditions that box has gone through. If it goes through extreme temperature fluctuations, that's when you might see cold setting, also known as cold crimping, box hair, things like that, because depending on how the wig was laid in there, if it gets super hot and then cools off, you know that if you take heat to a wig, it sets once it cools. So that can be a challenge as well. But this one looks fabulous. So hopefully if you get one, yours will too. Let's look at this cap. You have got the lace front like I told you, and it's nice and wide. You've got it all the way to the ear tabs. I'll point out where it ends when I put it back on my head. There is your parts, and the party space is actually quite good. They did a really good job with that. When you see this, you see the checker mark pattern on here? The reason it looks like that is because it's basically a highlighted piece, and they have different color hair fibers. That's the hair fibers, the color of the hair fibers. They have like a light auburn and a medium brown. You can't see that on the lace itself. That's not on the lace. It's actually the hair tied into the lace. That each individual strand of hair is tied into this monofilament. You've got the nice velvet soft ear tabs with bendable stays. I don't know if it's actually velvet, but it's nice and soft. Extended nape, Velcro adjusters, which we love. And you know what? It's a moderate density. And does it have permatease? I like to do my squeeze test, which I was just going to show you. You know what? It really doesn't have... It doesn't have pillowy permatease, I can tell you that for sure, because that's unmistakable. It's got just the tiniest bit of crimpy fibers where they sew it into the cap. I just think that gives it a tiny bit of lift and helps disguise the wefting. It isn't poofy or pillowy. There's very little permatease, but it's a decent, I get a decent squeeze on it. So it's about a moderate, I would say moderate hair density. It's not super light density. It's definitely not super heavy. But it's got a good amount of hair. So between the hair and the curls, this does feel like it's a bit of a voluminous style. So if you get overwhelmed by wigs easily, you might find this one to be a little bit overwhelming. Just trying to get it situated. It's always tricky when I put the wig back on and don't pause the camera, which I really don't ever do. Pause it, I mean, because you never know if it's going to go on right. A little bit of volume. So I just caution my new wig wearing sisters who are not used to seeing themselves with a lot of hair and tend to get overwhelmed by wigs. This does have some volume. It's not from permatease though. It's just from this beautiful curl pattern. This wig, my dog just walked in and opened the door with his paw, and I almost had a heart attack. I thought somebody was walking in, and I am the only one home right now. Oh gosh. Okay, let's keep going here, guys. That darn dog. What was I saying? I was saying the volume. Oh, this curl pattern. This is a beautiful, beautiful, polished, fancy hair wig. I really think if you're looking for a wig that you can wear to a wedding, to an event, something that looks like you took some time to do your hair, you're dressing up, you're putting on a lot of makeup. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the hair. It really is. I can just see this as mother of the bride hair. I really can. You can style this one if you want to. You can take claw clips and or bobby pins, if you're good with styling especially, and you can pick up some of these fibers and have the curls spilling down, and you could make this into what looks like a super fancy updo if you don't want to wear it down. And because of this awesome lace front, there's all kinds of styling that you can do in the front to lift up the front if you want a little bit more lift in the front. It would just be darling. I think they did a fantastic job with this one, and I absolutely can see a market for it. So I am really, really pleased to be bringing this one to you. It is super, super cute. So I showed you the lace front already. Let's look at this mono part. It's in here somewhere, I think I probably messed it up a little bit. I've got a mirror over here, so let me look at it. There we go. So there's the parting space. They did really good with this. I don't think most people are going to feel the need to pluck it at all. It looks really good. If you just did a little swipe with some face powder, that would really draw that out and make it look super realistic. I think it looks pretty good though, as it is. So if you're not comfortable messing with wigs, I don't think you really have to do anything with this one. Let's talk about fit. TressAllure runs generally very true to average. This one has a ton of stretch. And I actually think it's running, let me just cinch it in a little bit. It feels big on me, and I have a 22-inch circumference. So I'm going to cinch it in and see how that feels. Oh gosh, much better. Okay, this is running just a little bit big because 22 inches is average. And I had to cinch it in a little more than halfway. So I think 22.5 inch is going to fit this great. Maybe even bigger because the stretch on this thing is kind of insane. I mean, it has a ton of stretch. So you're really going to, I would say it's pretty big head friendly. There isn't a ton of extra cap up here though. I would say the circumference is running a little big, but the rest of it I think is running pretty true to average. If you've never tried a TressAllure wig before, I would just encourage you maybe to purchase it from somewhere that has a good return policy so that you can get a sense of how TressAllure fits you. And then that way you'll know for future reference whether or not this is a good brand. But I definitely think there is a little variation. This one does seem to be running a little big. The coverage is quite good. I get decent coverage. You can see a little bit of my bio hair, but the ear tabs fall just in front of and below my ear, so that's where I like it to be because then I get the best coverage. But the way that they sewed the hair in over here, it really just provides excellent coverage. So I can tuck this one and you can see a little bit of my bio hair, so I just want to make sure I can blend it. But other than that, it really fits well. So if you have similar measurements to mine and you've got a low hairline like I do, prepare for your bio hair to show just a little bit if you don't buzz it, and just know that either get a color that will blend or get some root touch-up powder in a color that will work with the wig that you're getting, and then it should be just fine. Let's talk about this color. 829. This is a beautiful auburn brunette. An 8 is a medium brown, and a 29 is a blend between an Irish red and a light auburn. So you've got this beautiful kind of auburny color running all through it. And then it's a medium brown, but it actually looks like a medium dark brown. And you can see they concentrated the highlights more heavily up on the top. And then down here, it gets a little bit sparser and you have a little bit more of that 8. But it isn't an extreme drop off. You've got, it's sort of like, you can tell they did it more heavily on the top, but then there are still a few highlights here and there down here, but just not as heavy. Absolutely looks like you went to a salon and paid a stylist to highlight your hair with auburn. Really beautiful. Great color for fall. Really great color. Well, for any time of year if you like brunettes and auburns, but I know a lot of people are gravitating more towards kind of the reds and the auburns for fall. This is a good one. And look at how great it is. Just sweeping it to the side, and it just likes to stay put. It doesn't hang in the face. It just sweeps to the side beautifully. I know I'm going to be asked, can you cut bangs in it? Let's test that out. So let's get these to come forward a little bit. As you can see, there's a wave pattern in the bangs. I think it would look really cute with bangs, but I think if you want to cut bangs in this one, you'll have to, depending on how your wave pattern is, you may have to take a little bit of heat to them to get them to lay flat. That would be really easy to do with a hot airbrush or a hair dryer, and since this is heat friendly, you really don't have to worry about damaging the fibers by doing that. So really cute. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you. I will get outside so you can see this color outside, so that's coming next, and then at the end you will see my unboxing. Let me know if you have any questions about this style. Thank you so much, TressAllure, for sending me this piece so I could share it with everybody. Super fun. Really good job, you guys. let's get outside.
All right, everyone, here we are outside with this beautiful color 829. I'll step into some sunlight, but right now I'll let you take a look at it in the shade. Okay, let's get into some sunlight. I love brunettes like this. They're dynamic. It's very warm. It's a warm color. This is a warm brown. It's got the auburn. Hard for me to look at the camera, so I'll just close my eyes. The sun is shining directly at me. Not rooted. Not that it really matters when you've got a darker brown like this, but sometimes with rooted colors, then you don't have any of the highlight on the top. But this is, it's just like you went to the salon and they added these beautiful highlights for you. All right, you guys, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching.
Here we go, out of the box, as promised. Now remember, when I do these out of the boxes, I have not looked at these wigs before, so I don't know what I'm going to see. Obviously, you've seen all this in my review. So here's your chance. This is exactly what it looked like. Now remember, I told you that I took a wide tooth comb and ran the comb through it and shook it out. I want you to look at the curl pattern. It's a tight, a little bit compacted. It looks like basically you curled your hair and then you just let the curls set. But you saw how great it combed out. Really easy. Shake it out, a little bit of combing, and it's just gorgeous. Love this style.